Thanks for joining us for Season 8 of the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
Hey, thanks for that introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, and capital. And Jimmy, that is a mouthful. And Jimmy, I am exhausted because, Jimmy, we have been on the road a lot.
On the road.
We were in Indianapolis. We were at Fast Casual Summit. I know you took a break on that one, but I was there, and it was a great show. And then we were in San Francisco, running around for 3 crazy days and nights in San Francisco. TechCrunch, Disrupt, lots of meetings, lots of dinners, lots of drinking, lots of talking. A lot of you talking, Jimmy. And I got to tell you, you can talk. You got to be exhausted.
Yes. Well, my face for radio has always made me particularly good at the gift of gab. I had to go with my strength. But no, it's been good to be on the road, and it's great to be back. Listen, we have a very exciting episode today of the podcast. We are going to introduce our friend, of course, our guest, and our partner, Rajat Bhakhri, CEO and founder of Incentivio. Rajat, we'll have you take the lead. Please give us a quick background on yourself and, of course, your best and, respectfully, let's keep it short, elevator pitch on Incentivio.
Yes, great to be here with you, Jimmy and Shatsy, and thanks for having me on the podcast. My name is Rajat Bhakhri. I don't think there's another name like that in the world, and if you can find somebody like that, then I'd love to meet that person. It's a
unique
name.
Yeah, I love it. It's like my name, Michael. Very unique. Very rare you're going to find another Michael out there.
Not Irish, not Italian, but of Indian heritage. I am the CEO and one of the co-founders at Incentivio. Incentivio is a fully automated guest engagement platform for restaurants and virtual kitchens. We increase retention, maximize revenue, and amplify guest engagement and loyalty using machine learning. We believe, unique in our category in many ways. Based in the Boston area with about 3,000 locations under contract across North America.
That is awesome. Listen, we got a lot to talk to because you guys are doing some really amazing, crazy, wild stuff in the technology, hospitality, food service space. But you know what? Before we jump into what Incentivio is doing, and there's a lot, we'd like to take a deeper dive into what makes you tick. How did you get to where you are, okay? So you went from a pizza delivery guy, to the CEO of a software development accelerator with a tremendous amount of success, to now a founder and CEO of Incentivio. Give us some background. How'd you do it?
Roger, this is his Fraser Crane moment. He wants you to know he's listening.
Okay.
And I don't charge for the first hour. It's the second hour, and I've been doing Jimmy for years, by the way.
Awesome. No, it has been a crazy ride. I mean, I have, and with all humility, I'm actually Shatsy. I'm a Sparky by education. I'm an electrical engineer. I did deliver pizzas for a very short period of time until, I ended up with my first job as a software engineer in Jersey, in sort of your neck of the woods, guys.
Did you say Jersey?
You hear the accent? You hear what he did there? Jersey.
Wait, Jimmy's never been to Jersey. He's never even been in Lincoln Tunnel. He don't like Jersey.
And subsequently moved on to contract at Putnam Investments in Boston, where I bought my first brand new car. And the car was a 2000 BMW 323, which I still own today, has 349,000 miles.
That's nothing.
That is nothing.
Just breaking it in.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, but the more important thing was that, after I'd finished up I did work in Wayne, New Jersey for a while, and then I moved from there to Putnam Investments in Boston, worked over there from 1995 to 1997 till I joined my first startup, which is a company called eDocs in the bill presentment payment space. Great experience over there, great team. I was an early engineer. We built a great platform that got acquired by Siebel, and subsequently Siebel got acquired by Oracle Corporation. So that was my baptism of fire in the startup space. In about 2000 and
Jimmy, you were going to jump in there. You're cutting him off. He's got more.
He's got more. I'll back up. I was only when I heard Putnam, I'm like, he's like my people. He's on the investment people. He's my people.
He's a bachelor from New Jersey.
The Jersey guy with the finance.
I'll go through my history fast. 2001, fast forward, started a company called Aeturnum, which focused solely on building technology and platforms for startups. Some of the platforms we built got acquired by the likes of PayPal, NetApp, eBay, and so on and so forth. And that company, Aeturnum Inc., has grown to about 250 plus people under new management.
Wow. I like it. I like it a lot.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I told you we had a great guest today.
Great guest.
I don't think he's done a lot. I'm like, Jimmy, he's done a lot.
Not really. And no. It's still a journey, guys. And then, of course, you've met my stellar co-founder and CEO, Sash, who also comes from a tech background. We both did work at that previous company together. And then 2016, 17 timeframe, we realized that there's so much going on in the point of sale space for restaurants with, entrants like Toast, Revel, Brink, so on and so forth. But there wasn't anything that was, an overall sort of a single stack solution for guest management. Online ordering, mobile, loyalty, gift cards, CRM, CDP, and so on and so forth. And that was sort of an igniter for us that, that we should build a single stack solution where we can capture all the guest data with effective attribution. And so we can use AI and ML to help increase check sizes, help restaurants retain guests, loyalty, reduce churn, and so on and so forth. So essentially the idea was that how can we democratize tech for all our customers? Tech that's not only just there for the big boys, but also for small to mid and upper mid market. So,
listen, I want to get involved. I love it, and I really want to carry that forward.
Too much. Jimmy likes to talk.
Yeah. Come on, don't steal my thunder. Which I take off Schatz's plate. No, actually, I love what you just shared about Incentivio. I love that you use the democratization of. I think that's really important, and I think longtime listeners of the podcast know that 2/3 of the restaurants in this country are SMBs. They're small and mid-sized businesses. They're the mom and pop. They're the small groups. There's a lot out there for the big boys, and God bless, we love the big boys. We respect the big boys. But I do love what Incentivio is doing for everyone else, or almost 2/3 of the market. Look, our producer and our partner, Julie, must feel a little guilty that she always gives Shatsy the news segments. He missed the breaking news. Shatsy, the breaking news moment. All right. Well, clearly I've struck a chord because I get to announce hot off the presses. All right, maybe
you get breaking news, Jimmy. You get breaking news?
I'm getting breaking news. Here it comes. Give me a drum roll. But Incentivio and Uber. That's right. Uber.
Whoa.
Joint forces.
Back up, Jimmy. Can you say that one more time?
Uber have joined forces to offer restaurants first-party ordering and, wait for it, mic drop, commission-free delivery. Uber, Incentivio, joining forces, first-party ordering, commission-free delivery. As operators ourselves, we think this is freaking awesome and it's music to our ears. So, Rajat, what can you tell us about this partnership with Uber?
So, super pumped about it, guys. I mean, who hasn't heard of Uber? Uber's all over the planet, and we are really, really excited with this integration. Uber will provide delivery drivers to restaurants using our order ahead solutions. Restaurant guests can delivery directly from our restaurant's website or mobile apps, which of course we provide all of that. And our platform seamlessly integrates with dispatches an Uber driver for the delivery. The flat fee delivery fee also means that restaurants are able to maintain margins, maintaining their brand loyalty. We are super pumped about it. access to a world-class delivery fleet. Real win for Incentivio as well as for our guests. And of course, with this partnership, restaurants have complete contactless delivery, which is important. Can track their order status in real time, can schedule orders to be delivered immediately or up to 7 days in advance. So if you have a party coming, that really, really helps you. So this partnership validates, big thing. Uber's great, and we are on a mission to help restaurants.
I got to tell you, Shatsy, I think this Uber company, I think they got a chance. Now that
I
they started with Incentivio, I think they got a shot.
You mark my words right now. You put the date down now and the time. This Uber will become a very popular company, and I think this Incentivio Uber deal will prove to be incredible for both parties. That is what I'm saying here right now. But Rajat, I got to go. Listen, unbelievable stuff. But, let's just change gears for a little bit and talk a little bit, dive into the product, why Uber is so excited to partner with you. Because, look, we all know, as operators, we know how important guest retention is. I think every industry knows how important guest retention is. I mean, every industry spends a fortune on keeping customers loyal. I know the car companies want you, if you have a Lexus, they want to keep in that Lexus over and over and over again. Airlines, they want you flying Delta, Delta, by the way, this segment, Jimmy, sponsored by Delta.
Nice. Thanks, Delta.
In fact, Jimmy, it costs businesses 5 times more to attract a new customer than it does to keep a regular coming back, right? I mean, the cost of acquisition, we hear CAC mentioned all the time, right? I don't know what that CAC means, but I hear CAC all the time. I have no idea. But listen, I just know one of your coolest features is your artificial intelligence, your AI. You have powered a whole churn management product that is keeping customers coming back, and cost of acquisition down. Can you share a little bit more about this product and how it works without giving too much away, because we don't want the competition to know?
No, certainly. I mean, I think initially when I did mention, ours is a single stack solution. The way we envisioned Incentivio to be is that we should be able to capture all the digital guest touch points in one platform. So once we have all that data together, the connectivity of the data, the relational integrity, I'm going to go a little bit technology deep, but these things are important in the sense that that's the only way you can really effectively apply machine learning and AI. One of the things that we all, I don't know if you guys knew this, and this is something that I found out myself, is that on an average, restaurants lose about 30 to 40% of their guests per year. And then so, I mean, there are tools available in the market today that are basically making restaurants reactive to that churn. Essentially, when Elvis has left the building, then send Elvis a message.
Then you're trying to go get him back.
Go and get him back.
Right.
And, there's very, historically, there's just between 3 to 5% chance of ever getting them back. And that's what we wanted to reinvent with churn management. That we would, we want to identify who is at the anvil of churning, and then how can we proactively give the restaurants that, that technology to really, really, message these guests and lower the churn. And our data shows that targeting at-risk guests is 4 to 10 times more effective than targeting them once they've already churned. So,
Makes
we have.
sense.
It does. I mean, what is more important in any industry? It's the guest, it's the customer. So, listen.
I agree. Hey, Shatsy, do you like apples? Hey, Shatsy, you like apples?
I do like apples.
Yeah. Well, my boy Rajat is wicked smart. I like them apples.
I love it, Jimmy. Great quote. Always got a great movie quote, Jimbo.
Imitation is a heightened form of flattery. Listen, I hope our listeners are getting a theme here. We talked about the delivery side and partnering with Uber. We talked about addressing retention and the churn. And now we're going to keep this theme going because really one of the things that Brandon was incredibly just wowed by and got us so enthusiastic about Incentivio is the bundled solutions that you guys have integrated on a single platform. Because let me tell you something, what you know what operators love more than anything else? They love having many, many vendors. Give them more vendors, more disparate services, 20, 30, 40 tech. No, they would like bundled and integrated solutions that work and operate seamlessly together. So I want to continue with guest relationships. Another product on the Incentivio platform that works back to back with your churn management is your loyalty program. And I'm going to drop some numbers, just quick numbers, but the average American consumer belongs to 16.7 customer loyalty programs.
Wait,
Okay?
Jimmy, can you just give me clarification? What is the 0.7 loyalty program? Which is the 0.7?
The 0.7, by the way, is you got 2 points for Starbucks, and I was a fraction of a loyalty with Starbucks, so we brought it down to this 0.7. But
Okay.
gone are the days of punch cards. So today, a successful loyalty program should and needs to be built into the omni-channel experience. So, Rajat, can you share how your program and by the way, it offers 4 to 10 times more likely not just to reach the consumer, reach the guest, but to retain them. Can you tell us how your program is doing this?
Yeah, like you just shared right now, I mean, consumers are invested in loyalty programs. You all know that. I'm personally, you mentioned Delta, I'm on the Marriott side and so on and so forth. And that's huge. I mean, I
Long
think five
boy.
to
Exactly.
Sorry, Raj. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, listen, five. This is another stat that we've looked at very carefully. We do a lot of R&D ourselves, but 5 to 17% of total restaurant revenue is coming from only 2 to 3% of the guests, and those are the loyal customers. So it's important that they maintain this relationship, not just for which we know, not just for brand engagement, but also revenue and retention. So, we have the opportunity to reach out to guests in an omni-channel experience using our platform because, once a guest signs up with the account, the restaurants know their journey from a first-time visitor to a loyalist and beyond because we have all the engagement channels in one place. So the restaurants have what we call our guest journey dashboard at their fingertips. So this is where the 4x, 10x effective retention rate comes in for restaurants, and they have a detailed view. They have actionable insights, and they can see how many visits the guests are making, what is their average spend, and they can automatically do more to create offers for these guests depending on the segment they're in. You must have heard of them: rookies, regulars, loyalists, etc. So no spray and pray offers, really, really targeted marketing. And
I love it. I love it. And listen, you know what? Talking about branding, I mean, I got to tell you, I think Jimmy and I think we know a little something about branding and how important it is because we named our company Branded. Branded Restaurants, Branded Hospitality Ventures, Branded Strategic. So we think we know a little something about how important branding is. And it's a big thing for restaurants. I mean, your brand is the direct reflection of your company. So we really do believe in branding. So something you mentioned earlier really stood out is how successful restaurants are integrating their brands into their digital space to engage with guests, new guests and old guests. Can you share a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so I mean, I think just another something to step back and look at this is that it's your tech stack is becoming standard for restaurants for all sizes, and guests need to become more engaged through mobile apps, online ordering, even kiosks, loyalty programs, and so on and so forth. And so to have a simple single platform tech stack, we feel is essential. Many restaurants are adopting different tech stacks that have 3, 4, 5 solution vendors, but guess what, they have a fantastic time trying to tie all that data together, make sense of what their guests are doing with the brand, and that definitely kicks into how you're projecting your brand image to these guests. And I think our platform gives a very good unified experience, and we can have some very, very targeted marketing to go with that hand in hand. So this is something that I think we are turning what a lot of people say kitchens into real brands. We are really, really putting the brand front and center. they can understand the brand can, the restaurant can understand the journey of the guests with their brand through our platform.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, I like it. Another great one. I like it a lot.
I like it a
It's
lot.
full quote restaurant quotes today. I mean, movie quotes today.
Movie
Sorry
quotes
about that.
today. All right, listen.
It's a unified experience, guys.
Rajat, listen, it turns out that we started this podcast because Shatz and I like bringing guests on and friends on and look, we like to talk a little bit, but we learned along the way sometimes our guests have questions for us. So let's kick off talking back where we offer you, our guests, the chance to ask us questions. Nothing's off the table. As I like to say, Rajat, the microphone is yours.
Yes, no. So listen, I first of all definitely know about you guys. So two questions. What?
We said one question, by the way, Roger.
He's a good guy.
He's about two questions. We said you have one question.
We'll give him two.
All right, one question. I'll try to tie that into
one question, two parts.
Two parts. That's it.
That's fair.
One, what was the idea behind Branded? And secondly, why you, Jimmy Finance? Why Shatsi, you restaurants? Would love to hear a little bit about that and how you.
Great question. I think it's a great question.
I'm going to tackle that, Jimmy, because I'm going to tackle it really quick because I'm going to tell you, I have no idea. And I'm going to pass this to Jimmy because I have no idea. I really have no idea. I'm still scratching my head. Jimmy, can you help me out here?
By the way, I appreciate that, and actually, that's more honest than I think anyone believes. No, in all seriousness, I've had the privilege of working with Shatsi and for over 2 decades. We've known each other, and our other partner, Mr. Dean Palin, who I met in the 8th grade and went to high school with, and Dean and Shatsi went to college together, and they got involved with an early restaurant. And Shatsi and I both have had lots of jobs in front of the kitchen. I've had every job in front of the kitchen, and then I left the industry as a much younger man. And Shatsi and Dean started to advance restaurants, and Dean's a real estate guy and using some of his footprint and ground floors to open up restaurants. Shatsi was the managing partner, Dean's buildings. And when I had a few nickels to my name, I got back in the game and started to invest. And I was one of their, I'd like to say,
best customer. Best customer.
By the way, they make fun of me because they say I eat and drink for free. I feel I paid up front, and the rest of it is just I get to enjoy. And by the way, that happened for really 2 decades. And Shatsi, under his leadership, was always looking to test and try tech, because how could he, as an operator, know what's best in class to help him, optimize margins, create efficiencies, if he wasn't aware of what was going on. And I then had my financial career, and I was on the Wall Street side until I ran my own investment firm for a decade. But when Chats and I, got together, and he was talking about the friction that existed between hospitality operators and technologists, it really signaled, at least to me, that this was an emerging market or alternative asset class, which surprisingly was not leveraging what I would say is subject matter experts, and what Shatz would say were the operators, who were the very ones using the tech and actually engaging with the tech. And with that simple thesis, we launched, hung a shingle. We used our own capital for a while until, at least on my side, my wife said, "Is this a hobby or a job? It's a hobby if you're going to spend our money. It's a job if you're gonna make some off it." And I actually said, you know what? She's right. I amicably left my previous company. Launched officially Branded Hospitality Ventures with Shatsi and Dean and some other partners. And we love being, at the end of the day, our simple rule is it's got to be good for the operator. Any tech we work with, any company we support, has to be an ally for the operator, because we are operators. We're still operators. We opened up 3 new stores during the pandemic, new restaurants. So Shatsi is the head of our expert stack, and he's the restaurant guy because he spent the last almost 3 decades on the floor running restaurants and dealing with all that stuff. And I spent the last 3 decades in the investment world, including a number of emerging and alternative asset classes, and we've come together.
Our worlds have collided.
The worlds have collided, and
that's an amazing combination.
And what's really important, though, and then I'll stop because it's a longer answer than anyone wanted, but no one's surprised I gave. What I think differentiates us is I don't get to choose the companies, because I haven't worked for 30 years in the stores and dealing with every bit of nuance, back of house, front of house, supply chain. So it's really important that we identify companies from the experts. Shatsi and his team of experts need to vet it from the operator perspective. And if they give it a yes, then I get a vote, or the investment team gets a vote. And to get money from Branded, you need 2 yeses. Shatsy and the expert team has to say yes, and Jimmy and the finance team have to say yes. And when you get 2 yeses, we get to have wonderful times with you like this because, full disclosure, we're not just friends with Rajat. We're an investor in his company and thrilled to be with you on this journey. So I apologize for the long answer. It's an excellent question, and I'm very passionate about this. I think we've created an emerging VC that's just a little different than the way other people approach the business. We play nice in the sandbox. We welcome anyone to join us on this journey. There you go.
I have only one thing to add, Jimmy.
You just say ditto.
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 That's all I want to say is ditto. Listen, you know what? We got a new great segment, Jimmy, because, yes, I do get the best segments, as you know.
Yeah.
We got a new great segment on the podcast. It's the food service feud. We started a couple of episodes again, and we love the feud. I mean, everyone loves the feud. So each week, we ask a guest to go head-to-head with Jimmy, the finance guy, to guess the top answer on the board. But instead of relying on just answers from 100 random people, we actually polled 1 billion people on LinkedIn. Over 1 billion people have been polled on LinkedIn, and we already know the answer, but do you? So, Raj, are you ready to play a little food service feud with Jimmy?
Bring it on.
That's not a resounding
I'm
yes.
ready. I'm ready.
Jimmy's ready. All right.
I'm beeping it.
Get your buzzers ready, your imaginary buzzers ready, and I'll give you a little background and context on this question. We surveyed 1 trillion people. Some of the most iconic scenes in movies are filmed in America's most popular restaurants. While it was a tough selection, we chose 4 scenes that we think capture the true magic that some large restaurant brands have created on the big screen. The top answer on the board, go.
Bing.
And
I was giving Rajat a chance to bing in first.
Oh, okay. So what movie has the most what movie filmed those iconic restaurant? Jimmy?
I'm going Adam Sandler, Big Daddy's, Hooters.
Number 1 answer, Jimbo. Number 1 answer. Raj, you can't steal it away, but you get a guess.
I didn't think that would be number 1. I got to tell you, I didn't think that'd be 1.
Hooters was on my list, guys. Jimmy stole it from me.
I would, by the way, if you didn't say Major Bulge Bracket, I was going to say Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan in Harry Met Sally and Katz's. But when you said chain, because I think that's the most quoted restaurant scene of all time. But you said chain, which is why I went with Hooters. I know there are others, but I was going Adam Sandler. It's very popular. Very popular.
The number 2 answer on the board was a very famous movie. I'll let you guys guess. I'm just going to say Mr. Tom Cruise was in this movie.
That got us right. I say TJF.
TJI cocktails. I'll tell you. I'm going to give you another. I'm going to number 3 answer. I'm going to say Will Ferrell, racing car movie. Think Indianapolis. Think. What do you think of Will Ferrell?
Chili.
Nights. Applebee's.
So sorry.
Number 4 answer. I mean, big fan of these little tiny burgers. Burgers.
White Castle with Bill.
White Castle.
Harold and Kumar.
White Castle. Oh, that's a good one.
White Castle. Harold and Kumar, guys.
Yep. So we got Hooters, TGI, Applebee's, White Castle. There you go. That is it. Great time, great guessing. Great to play the food service feud. Thank you for that. That was sponsored by Jimmy.
I'm gonna go with Katz's Deli because they're like, what happened? Everyone quotes us. How'd we get left off the list? All right, listen. That segment was so much fun, and our producer's now gonna kick our butt for how much time we spent on it. But that's okay. It's good fun. Listen, Rajat, it's time for our crystal ball moment. A chance for you to put on your Kreskin or Miss Cleo hat and predict the future. The future. How do you see restaurants and dining 2 years from now in relation to hospitality and technology?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely see that on-premise will pick up as we exit the pandemic, hopefully, quote unquote. And I also see a growing trend in definitely growing trends in pickup, but I think labor shortages and inflation will definitely accelerate the adoption of technology. I think so. And I think what's going to be important is, and it's here to stay, is that overarchingly automation is here to stay in the restaurant industry. What I'm excited to look at is, how robotics is getting into the space. We definitely get a window on how robots are, serving guests in restaurants, how they're helping in the pizzeria, in the pizza joints. So that's something that's going to evolve, over a period of time. The area that I have a little bit of is a space I want to watch is how we are going to do delivery through robots. I just have a feeling that while we are making all that, we are making a lot of advancement in that technology. I just feel that we really need to have the infrastructure for all of that to work together. I think that's
Schatz,
something
who sponsored this segment? Autonomy.
I agree. Listen, we're seeing it all. It's obviously I think the most exciting time to be in this space. As a longtime restaurant owner, operator, we just love it because I love the entrepreneurship. I love the creativity. Restaurants have always been obviously incredibly creative with menus and drinks and design, et cetera. So adding a layer of technology and innovation is just make it that much better for the customers. The experience.
Shasi, one of the other things is that, and this is not about technology, but this is about philosophy and paradigm, I would say, is that we should also, while we should build all this technology, and it's going to be in the restaurant space and every other industry, one of the more important things we have to keep sight of is that it has to be the easy button. Restaurants, you can throw as much, or any other commercial sector for that matter, as much technology as you can, but you have to make it easy for them, because without that adoption, I mean,
Shot, you see what Rajat just there? See what he did? He made it real. He brought it back. He brought it
at the end of the day, it's got to be no friction. Yep. It's got to be easy. I mean, obviously it has to be good, but it has to be easy and no friction. Right. You're 100% right. Listen, as Jimmy alluded to earlier, I do get the best segments. Not that the crystal ball moment isn't a good segment. It is. It's just not as great and cool and fantastic as the branded quick fire. Are you ready?
Don't segment shame me, Schatzy. Don't.
Yeah, I won't. But I got to tell you, Raj, are you ready for the branded quick fire?
Yes, I am.
All right. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Don't think too hard. Just give me the first answer that comes to your mind. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
All right. The number 1 question. Favorite Halloween candy?
Favorite Halloween candy, Snickers. The small ones.
Snicker.
Love a good Snicker.
The little ones. Yeah, Jimmy likes the 25% larger one.
Yeah. That way I can consume 20 of them and not feel that guilty about it. And I see that big giant bar.
He gets 20% more. Favorite scary movie? Ooh, favorite scary movie.
Insidious.
I didn't even know that one.
Really scary. For me, it was Halloween 14. Definitely Halloween 14.
It's funny because Sam just told me today. He goes, "Dad, tonight we're going to watch the last Halloween." I didn't know it wasn't Halloween. Apparently, that's Halloween. Mike Myers is still not dead. He's still alive.
Hey, Jamie Weekers, cha-ching, cha-ching, go Jamie.
I could have said Dracula, but Insidious is more recent, so.
Okay.
Not Dracula.
Your best Halloween costume?
Spider-Man.
By the way, I just got to ask, I know this isn't, but Jimmy, what'd you dress up last year as?
I got a young daughter, so I'm trying to keep up with her whims. I think I was,
You put a picture last year.
It was Woody. I think I was Woody from Toy Story. Year before I was Batman. I've done Mickey Mouse. Whatever my daughter says, Daddy, you're going to dress, I think this year I might be Elsa because she wants to be Hans, the villain Hans.
Oh my God! I can't wait to see Jimmy as Elsa from, was that Frozen, Jimmy?
Frozen. Might be Hans. Maybe Anna.
Favorite spooky city to visit? Salem, Massachusetts, or New Orleans, Louisiana?
Salem, Massachusetts, by far.
Really? If you were to challenge Jimmy Rye to a bobbing for apples bobbing for apples contest, or just bobbing for apples, I guess, Halloween party game, what do you have better odds of beating?
Between Jimmy and who? You and Jimmy?
I was going to say. I mean, hunting for apples?
Wait, Raj, what did you say you're going to have better at beating?
No, I think I have better odds of beating Schatzi.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I would agree. 100%. I can eat a 25% bigger Snicker bar.
Yeah. Oh, that one's in my wheelhouse. A, I'll take down the apple. B, I'll go to no end to get that. I will plow in a bucket of ice water.
You'll hold my head down and drown me.
I would dunk my head and get that apple.
It'll be easier, right? You can't get up.
Shove my head down and not let me up for air.
All right, listen, we've had a lot of fun.
Who's going to tangle with Jimmy? Look at him. He's strong. He's tough.
100%.
Rajat, we appreciate you joining us for the podcast today, and thank you for sharing your insights and for all the hard work you and Sasha and your team at Incentivio are doing for the industry. We're huge fans, and we mean that. I don't want to violate any regulatory or other matters, but I would say the following. Brandon has had successful exits with our friends at Bbot into DoorDash and our friends at GoParrot into Square. You are in that sport, although you're a more bundled and you have other products and functionality on your platform. So I would simply just say I think you're going to have an incredible run coming up, and you're going to have some high quality problems. And by that I mean is you're a company that I believe is going to be really sought after because you do so much for operators and you do a suite of solutions, which I just think is going to really, as more people get to know you and know your platform, they're really going to be blown away by just how much you do for operators in such a frictionless and seamless manner. Probably shouldn't have said seamless, but all right, it happens. All right. If you want to get in touch with Rajat directly, you as always now you can email the podcast team at podcast@brandonstrategic.com, and we'd be happy to make an introduction for you. To our listeners, thank you so much as always for tuning in. I know I keep saying it, but our subscriber base just keeps growing exponentially.
Hey, Jimmy, can I add something to this?
Sure, go for it, man.
We're looking for a sponsor for the podcast. Chico's Bail Bonds has just sent me a note that they are no longer going to be sponsoring the podcast, Jimmy. So we are out there. We are out there looking. So Delta, no joke, if you're thinking about a new, Marriott. Because Chico's has just given notice that they are no longer sponsoring the podcast, Jimmy. So we are looking.
I stopped buying jerseys from Chico's, the little Bad News Bears. So I guess we do need a new sponsor. So for all you guys out there, I personally would like, hey, Edrington, I contributed mightily to your success.
Jimmy has spent at least $400 million in McAllen over the last 5 years. I know that I'm throwing a lot towards Johnny Black. So I would go either way, Jimmy. I'll take McAllen, I'll take Edrington or Diageo. Come on, guys.
Throwing it out there, fellas. All right, Diageo. All right, Edrington. Call us. Okay. I told you how to get in touch with Raj. I was thanking our listeners, and sincerely, you're making this happen, carrying us forward, and we appreciate you. Please join us for the next week when we welcome our guest and our partner, Mani Kolasoria. I hope I said that right. Mani Kolasoria.
I just go Monty K. It's Monty K.
It's Monty K. Next week, co-founder and CEO at Cut and Dry. That'll be a lot of fun. So,
guys, doing some great stuff. Monty's doing some great stuff, man.
It is all good. So this is Jimmy Frischling, your finance guy, again with great appreciation to our friend and partner Rajat. And I'll pass it back to my boy Schatzy to close us out.
Thanks, Jimbo. This is Schatzy, a.k.a. the restaurant guy, thanking everybody for listening. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.